Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing how I start art journals. So if you want to start an art journal, you are in the perfect place. Art journaling has been a really important tool in my toolkit this past year, and I really think it's one of my favorite forms of self-care. So if you're ready to turn your creativity into self-care, let's dive into creating an art journal. And hey, if we've not yet met, I'm Brenna Delane, an artist, writer, and lifelong journaler, and I help folks go from perfectionism and unsureness into creating messy and magical pages that are a true reflection of life. So let's dive in. The first thing I want to go over before we get into making an art journal page are page numbers, indexes, splash pages, and about me sections and spreads. So this is my art journal, and it is pretty chunky at this point, even though it's half full right now. So we are going to look at some page numbers. This journal is a Leuchtturm 1917. And it comes with page numbers already in it. And so after I had one of those, I decided I loved page numbers, and as you can see here, I've been adding them to all of my journals. So one thing you can do to kind of break the blank and get into your journal is to add page numbers. The other thing is a splash page. So this is the very first page of your journal, and if you know it's going to be an art journal, or if you know like this one is long-term collections, you can make like an artsy page, or sometimes, like honestly, I leave these blank though because it's just too much pressure, and I'll do it at some point in the journal when I feel like it. But a splash page can be a cool way to begin as well. And right here I have this awesome sticker from Archer and Olive from one of their kits. So anyway, the other thing I wanted to mention with the page numbers is an index. And so you can put this index in the beginning of your journal. I'll show you a couple, but this one is a little more like complex, and then this one, another splash page, this one is a little more simple. So this index I just wrote page number and item, and so you can see that there. I have a space for intentions, and then this is an about me section. We're also going to look at an about me spread. So these can be really fun to make. You can put your favorite quotes, facts about you, pictures if you want, your loves. You can put a few words that describe you, but it can be really cool. This is the first journal that I've done this in, and I really enjoyed the process. So yes, you can make an about me section or an about me page, and that can be really fun. So let's dive into my art journal, and we'll create a page. I'll kind of walk you through my process of how I create pages in my art journal. So first things first, we want to gather materials intentionally. And so I always tend to put I paint a background generally, so I have these glittery watercolors that I really like using. But you can start however you want to start. Maybe paint is not your thing, and that's okay. But maybe you want to start by just painting like one solid color. That's like almost always what I do. Sometimes I start by collaging paper, but most of the time I actually just like paint one solid color. So this time I chose like this pretty pink color, and so I really just think it's kind of meditative to paint one solid color as a background. For me it is, at least. So you can really get lost in this process, and in art journaling, it can be really powerful to go to more of a process-oriented situation instead of a product-oriented way of being. So if you've ever like frozen up because you wanted your journal to look perfect, I've been there, but that's more of a product-oriented mindset creeping in. So art journaling really shines when we give ourselves permission to just be in process, to explore, to layer, to really like make a mess and just see what happens. So I actually recorded a longer conversation about this for my Patreon podcast. So if this topic of process versus product resonates, you can actually check out that deeper dive after this video. So now I am continuing to gather materials intentionally. This is some fall journaling supplies that I have for a challenge I'm doing. So I have that box. And then I also picked out an October Happy Mail kit and this kit from Notebook Therapy. And I went through and just selected the pieces that really called to me that I wanted to use for this art journal spread. And this is generally what I do after I paint the background, is I will go through and find paper paper and stickers and just whatever materials are really resonating with me that particular day. And so, yes, this is what I chose. Definitely a lot of black paper, and I have white gel pens that I'm probably going to be using, I think. And then some other bits and bobs that just I thought were cool and called out. I think it's important, again, with being process oriented to, just go with your gut and not have like some fancy dancy reason why you need to use something. It can just be because it looks cool or because it feels right. So that can be really a powerful part of art journaling as well, is like being in communion with yourself and noticing what lights you up, like what washi tape lights you up. These two are from the latest sub box from Art Journal Olive. They're so cool. I'm not sponsored by them. I just love them. So anyway, I picked out, as you can see, a bunch of different things, bunch of different layers, and it's really fun to just, again, layer and make a mess and just go with whatever calls you. So let's dive into creating with this stuff. First, I always lay out like the composition and then I'll glue it later. So I kind of just have fun playing around with like composition and cutting things, ripping things, crumpling things until I feel satisfied. And so that can sometimes be a very quick process. And then sometimes it takes forever and I just like cannot feel settled with what I'm trying to make. I really want to use this piece of paper, but I don't know how I'm going to use it. I might cut it up and like do something with it. But anyway, we'll see if that makes it in. But let's glue this down now. I really like the composition. I also wanted to mention that linked below is a free printable of collage elements that you can check out so that you have some materials to work with to get started. So check that out below. My biggest advice with art journaling is to focus on how it feels to create, not the outcome of what you're creating, which may be a little counterintuitive because we're in a very product-oriented culture, but to be process-oriented is so joyful sometimes to just play and to see what happens. So I highly recommend, if you do try this, get the printable, print it out, and just play around. Let yourself really go with whatever feels good in your body, whatever feels good to you, whatever looks good to you. You do not need fancy reasons or art words why it looks good or anything like that. You can just do things because they bring you joy, and that is my favorite part about art journaling as well, is you can do things just because you like them. So anyway, if you want to check out new materials every month, you are welcome to subscribe to Happy Mail, which is my subscription for creatives, or you can get a single kit. But Happy Mail is so fun because it gives you a themed bunch of goodies. It's delight that comes through the post. And so one of the things that was in October's kit were these little scratch boards, which you can see I am scratching here. They are so satisfying to scratch. And they're fun to make little designs with. So I did a few of those as a finishing touch. So yes, I hope you have enjoyed this little walkthrough. We're almost done creating this page. And yes, I hope this has been helpful. Again, process-oriented making is so important, and it really brings us an opportunity to relax, to use creativity as self-care, like I said in the beginning, and to create something cool, of course, but that's not the point. The point is how it feels when you're doing it, in my opinion, with this. So yes, here is our finished page. I think it turned out really cool. And again, it's not perfect, but it's mine. It's my messy, magical page, and I love it. I was thinking about Paris, obviously, when I was making this because of the Le Tour Eiffel there that is featured, the Eiffel Tower. But yes, I hope you have found that this is helpful in starting your own art journal journey. Give this a like if you found it helpful, and subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this. I'll see you in the next one.